Welcome to Eat, Feed, Grow. My name's Mongezi,
Hi, I'm Liam Jukes.
and Liam is here to co-host with me, Eat, Feed, Grow, and we'll be talking about eating, the art of feeding, and the art of growing. So, food in general.
And as human beings, possibly.
Yeah. So a little about myself. I'm a chef, and Liam is.
I am a barman by trade, but currently a general manager.
Yeah. So we work together. Fun. And now we're doing this.
We don't spend too much time together, let's be honest. I mean, otherwise I wouldn't fucking be here, right?
So yeah. First pod. I think we're talking about eating. Eating is a very primal thing, I would like to think. But as we progress and as we modernize, like eating has changed from just survival to just whatever.
I think it's progressed a lot more to enjoyment and like a recreational thing that people do as well these days. It's not just a let me try and sustain my body and get through the day with the energy that I need. It's let me go for something that I can enjoy as an individual and have an experience out of as well, right?
Yeah, true, true. I have to say that is true. But like, I think about at the end of the day, we got to dial back and think eating ends up falling as a secondary to life and working. And think about the most common thing you think about is like work. It's like survive, 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 grind, grind, grind. So basically, you've done your 9 to 5 or 9 to 5 because we all know it's never 9 to 5. um,
Sometimes 7 to 9.
yeah, hospitality people will know there are no set hours. But like the post work paradox, like what do I eat?
Hmm. Well, I think that differs from person to person, depending on how much effort and cognitive ability you still have at the end of your working hours, right? Like, I know quite a few chefs, and maybe you can collaborate and contest to this, but they're so sick of food by the end of their 12-hour shift that all they want to do is grab some KFC on the way home and just chow and dos, dude.
No, that 100%. I think about that like from speaking experience.
And
Like
I'm quite sure that with the stress of corporate these days and other sorts of multifaceted work environments, even your 9 to 5 office jobs are going to feel the same way. And they're going to be like, oh no, what am I going to cook when I get home? Am I going to go through all of that effort? Wouldn't it be so much easier to just pit stop at a McDonald's on the way home and just chow when I get home?
I guess the whole decision fatigue actually sets in where you can't actually decide, and it's more I just need to feed myself now.
And it becomes the survival instinct that you were talking about earlier,
Yeah,
right?
well, in general, that's what it breaks down to because, like, you're just like, okay, I'm tired. Like, okay, now am I going to spend half an hour cooking?
Half an hour thinking about what to cook, and then another half an hour to actually cook it, and then an extra half an hour thereafter to further enjoy it and actually sit down and eat, right?
Yeah.
So
So,
what could be an half an hour stint turns into an hour and a half activity after work, and it just ends up making people feel like they're working again after work. But all they want to do is crash out and chill.
I guess it's only for the people who actually find the enjoyment of like I'm gonna go home now and I'm gonna cook. Um, there are people who out there I've seen.
Well, that's very interesting because then I feel like it boils down to your mindset, does it not? Like if you see it as a chore, it's going to be a chore. But if you turn it into something that's like a reward system and an activity to wind down and decompress after work, and something that you find fulfillment in, obviously it's going to be a little bit more approachable then, right?
It is, but also it, the second part of the whole thing is when you the decision fatigue becomes a lot more strenuous when you're by yourself, when you only have to feed yourself. It's a lot easier to go, okay, I'm cooking, but I'm not cooking for myself only.
It's there's someone else
Plus,
dependent on you as well.
yes.
Okay. Do you not find that having somebody else as well helps the decision making process? Because then there's more back and forth and a little bit of reverb with your decision making and your ideas.
Yes and no. Yes, there is a back and forth, but then there's also the complete indecisiveness of two people doing or wanting two different things. Like you made one KFC and I'm like, nah, I want a salad tonight. And then you'll be like, no, we can just get some lettuce and throw KFC on top. And I'll be like, no, that defeats the point of the salad.
Okay, but fair, but then you still have that cognitive decision to make for somebody else as well on top of yourself.
Yes, I find it's a lot easier. I've lived with roommates and um, I found that the act of cooking, I won't call it the chore of cooking, the act of cooking was a lot easier because I know I'm not cooking for myself alone. So I actually have to think and be a little bit more considerate, but also a little bit more financial. Also, that means I wasn't cooking 5 days a week. We were taking turns. So that also made it sort of.
Because you knew tomorrow you're not going to have to do this again.
Yes.
You just have to create something lekker for everybody tonight. And then tomorrow it's somebody else's turn.
Yeah.
And that also helps with the cognitive decision making
Yes.
because then they don't have to think about what you're cooking on the night. They've only got to think about what they're cooking on the night.
Yeah. But then I feel like some people will use and abuse that system and end up like one person will cook a great meal and then the other one will
minimal effort, just a toasted cheese sandwich, go fuck yourself, dude.
Long- Luckily that's never happened to me, but oh my gosh, I dread like that.
So for me not being a chef, right, and I know I've got a decent amount of skills in creating with liquid. With food, it's a whole different situation. Where I'm happy to make a packet of mee goreng noodles when I get home, and maybe just tweak one or two elements, and I feel like that's a delicious reward anyway, with minimal effort. And that kind of just boils down to your whole argument of effort versus output. Like how much effort are you actually putting into it, and how much output are you getting out of it?
True, but then there are people who meal prep.
But they take a whole dedicated day.
Yeah.
And then there's also different companies that you can get that can do all of that meal prep for you.
That's true, but then it comes to the cost of convenience. Like what are you willing to pay? It's like I'm willing to pay 1,000 rand a month that I have um, decision fatigue about what I eat. But then I can't complain if I don't like what I'm eating.
Get a bang average fucking cottage pie. Yeah.
Also, cottage pie. No.
Hey, I'm British, dog. Don't knock it, bro.
It's traumatic from boarding school. It's boarding school days. All of this is traumatic from boarding school days.
My toppy makes a bag of cottage pie. I grew up with great cottage pie. A cottage pie is very minimal effort and very easy to make, my bro.
What about a shepherd's pie?
It's literally just lamb instead of beef, right?
Okay.
No?
No,
Again, I'm not a chef. Don't throw shade, dude.
I'm not throwing shade. I never throw shade because I also don't know cocktails. So
that is a lie. I know you know cocktails.
I don't. I know some basics.
Basics, yes, but I feel like your understanding of cocktails is way supreme to my understanding of food and food elements and how they incorporate into each other.
It's all about being curious.
Fair enough. And you got to try new things, and you got to actually put in the fucking effort, right?
Yeah, that's I think a lot of people like stop put barriers to themselves by not exploring. Try like weird things. Weird things are very fun, and it teaches you. I think Dr. Seuss, Green Eggs and Ham. I think honestly like people laugh at it and that I reference that a lot, but it's a good book.
It's a great book. I mean, didn't Hester Blumenthal do a dish based off of it?
Yeah,
Okay, there we
yeah,
go. Like,
yeah.
if it wasn't that good, it wouldn't have inspired some of the top chefs in the world, right?
Yeah, but it's still it's not about actually being a chef or anything. It's about opening yourself up to experiences and trying new
Ah,
things.
okay, you see, but this is where we get into personal development then.
No, it's not. It's about trying new stuff, eat new things.
Which is a form of self development, my guy. You gotta try new fucking boundaries and activities, otherwise you're never gonna grow as a person as well, right?
of course,
So if you're not willing to put yourself out there and try new things, new opportunities and experiences are never gonna come your way.
yes.
So it's a little bit of tit for tat in a way,
Mm.
right?
Yeah. Like, would you try tribe?
I have tried trap.
Okay. Walkie talkies.
I have tried walkie talkies.
Yo, what haven't you tried?
I have not tried haggis. I don't think I would either.
Why? If you've done tribe, you can do haggis. Blood pudding,
Our British
of
fucking
course.
child blood pudding. They did. Um, hmm. I've always wanted to do those really, really authentic Asian cuisines that are very like unapproachable in a way, like the scorpions and the spiders and
Scorpions is nice. I've tried scorpion in Thailand. It's nice. Crunchy. Tried tarantula in Japan. Crunchy as well.
any sort of flavor that is actually like reminiscent to day to day proteins.
Um,
Because one night I had crocodile once, and for me it tasted like a really tough chicken.
okay. If you really tough chicken, have you tried they call them roadrunner chickens, yeah. Well, Cornish hens, my grand used to say. But yeah, they basically like these free range, um, very gamey chickens. They lean, like lean.
I have not. I have not. I've always also wanted to try quail and pigeon,
Those
but
are very.
it's kind of French. It's a little bit more bougie and pretentious, but just from my experience of watching MasterChef and Gordon Ramsay and shows at home about cooking, you see those sort of different poultry options, and it makes you wonder and curious, right?
Okay, so duck.
I've had duck, obviously.
Okay, that's guinea fowl.
Nope,
Really?
nope. I thought they were endangered. You can eat a guinea fowl.
Yeah, you can purchase guinea fowl.
Oh, hectic. Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's interesting, but it's also you have to get them in season. Um, but like yeah, with eating after work is
Look, I think the point we're trying to come across is it can be a chore if you approach it that way, but if you slightly adjust your mentality towards it and you look at it more of a decompression and don't overthink the whole process of what you're going to cook, and like those times when you get home from work and you're just staring at this full fridge, bro.
that
And
is
there's so many different options that you can go for, but your brain is just so drained that you're like, oh, there's fuck all to eat, right?
of course.
So you just kind of give up before even trying. Like, is that not maybe a form of overthinking?
It is, but what you end up settling for is like, okay, what can I put in my mouth to chew that I can eat right now that tastes good.
What's quick? What's accessible? What's
No,
easy?
literally what I can stick my hand in the fridge, pull out, and go hum 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 and eat. That is literally what it is after work. Because I'm like, if I open the fridge and I'm spending like 2 to 3 minutes, the final decision is what can I reach in and pull out and eat right now without any preparation or whatsoever.
You see, I understand that, and I feel like that's where the whole jealousy element from my side comes in to these people that do have that whole day set aside for meal prep, because it makes the mise en place throughout the week so much easier, right? You prep, you get all of the fucking work done in 8 hours, and then on a day to day, it's a quick fry, quick dish, quick plate, done. And there's options for you to choose from. You don't have to stick to the regimen of Nazi fucking meal plan from a Sunday, right?
Oddly enough, people will do that.
Yeah,
though.
I know they will because it's structure and it makes them feel like they're sticking to the plan, but also there is flexibility in the options. Like, oh no, today's Wednesday, I'm supposed to have chicken and rice and vegetables, but fuck that. I feel like having spaghetti that I've meal prepped. Let me just switch it up and have the chicken and rice and veggies on Saturdays when it was the designated day for pasta, right?
Yes, true. But not everyone wants to spend 8 hours doing that. Oh no, think about it. The most ideal, the most practical day would probably be a Sunday, right?
Depending on your work cycle, but yes, I feel like even
Okay, we're speaking 9 to 5. Yeah, a large majority of people work 9 to 5. They are that very small group of
have a Sunday off. Do you not feel like that could also fall into your Fridays and Saturdays? Particularly to people that don't enjoy going out and have a more antisocial element to their lifestyle than
more reclusive social.
Exactly.
Not antisocial, more reclusive.
More reclusive social and
Yeah.
withdrawn introverted kind of thing. You know what I mean? There was no judgment there at all, but
Okay.
I just know you get different people that are more sociable, more outgoing. They have plans from 10 a.m. on a Friday to 7 p.m. on a Sunday, flat out, like no breaks, dude, except for when they go home and sleep.
Oh my gosh, I could not think of doing that. that sounds like work. Excuse me, man. But I guess that, but then the alternative is, as you said earlier, is there's meal services. And meal services, what, how many are there? Isn't there like one popping up every year or like 2, 3? I know the one that a lot of people also go really about is You Cook.
You Cook is a big brand that I've heard of, and Fit Foods. I think those are the only two that really pop into mind.
I've never heard of really Fit Foods.
Not really Fit Foods.
I know.
But
I said really. It came off like I said really Fit Foods, but like no Fit Foods.
I know there are smaller options and varieties that do pop up on a monthly basis, like you mentioned, but I don't know how relevant they are to the market of people that are actually utilizing those services and doing it on a day-to-day basis, other than Uber Eats and Mr. Delivery. Because I know that is also quite a very accessible point for people in general to have a go-to option and a backup plan when they're not feeling that decision-making and effort input. Right?
Yeah, I get that, but also I don't know. I haven't actually researched like the current price of like these all these meal kits and prepped meals and like what the subscription actually looks like.
So obviously there's different plan options for people in different pricing brackets and looking for different supplements to their meals, right? If you're going to be going for a meal every single day or two meals every single day, you're going to be taking a much more substantial output package that costs a little bit more,
Yes.
but also how they price it is on their own onus. Like
Oh, yeah.
maybe you get incentive for doing 60 meals a month and you're getting a 15-10% rebate on it, right?
True.
So if you go for the 10 meal option, you're going to be paying an extra 15% on it, but there's minimal opportunity for you to be flexible and actually have some sort of supplement to that cognitive decision making and activity of cooking.
Yeah. Well, wait, you cook is you still have to cook the meal.
Never seen or heard of
I
it.
think you could.
Is that the place that gives you the recipes?
I think they give you, yeah, they give you the recipe and a box with the ingredients.
Oh, sick, dude. Okay.
I think I feel so bad that I don't know this. Because clearly I don't use it. So yeah, that's how
Well,
bad.
why would you need to? You're a chef.
You say this, but like I don't know. It's just me personally. I don't cook at home.
Look, I'm not much of a cook at home either. I do one or two dishes quite well, mostly pasta or a homemade pizza. But
You go through the process of fermenting your own dough.
I don't ferment my own dough.
So,
Let's not go that hard. You buy a pre-made dough and then you kind of work out the toppings of the pizza from there, right? Try and make it simple for yourself, dude. Don't go through all those hoops and chains.
it is well. Fermenting dough is simple as well.
I did read about a technique where they added beer to the dough instead of your hydration element.
Yes.
And that kind of adds that fermented
Yes.
taste to it with a shorter
Yes.
time cycle.
Yes.
But never tried it, to be honest
But
with you.
the fermentation is mainly for the gluten, the proteins in the gluten.
You see, but now there's this whole science element to it that I don't understand from your chefing perspective and mindset, right?
Yeah.
I think my point was that if you, what I like to do when I do have a day that I know I'm going to cook myself a meal for, is I'll go onto MasterChef on Netflix or some sort of YouTube cooking channel and I'll see a recipe and I'll try and recreate that the best way that I can, mimic it for myself.
Okay.
Something that I enjoy and I see is like a final plate and oh my god, that looks delicious. Fuck it, let's give it a bash. You know?
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I
And I think that also kind of helps the cognitive decision making element where you have to think about it, try and plan it out, how each element's going to work in the dish, and then still risking it at the end, thinking, is it going to work? For the majority of people that don't understand.
okay.
Like, honestly, dude, I remember
Fair.
back in high school, I used to cook for myself getting home from school. And I'd be like, shit, I don't know if this is actually going to taste good or not, bro. Like, am I going to enjoy this after all of this effort now? But
I was in boarding school, so yeah. it was a different. We were both playing Russian roulette. Just
it was in someone else's hands. The gun was in someone else's hands in your case.
you don't know. They spun and you were just hoping. So yes, I remember like there was one incident where like 30% of the boarding house got food poisoning.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it was bad.
Well, I never gave myself food poisoning.
I would have thought you gave yourself salmonella.
No, I don't cook chicken until it's not pink, dude. And pork. You can get salmonella from pork as well.
Tapeworms more common. No, legit.
No,
Tapeworm.
but there is still the possibility of salmonella.
Yeah,
That's all I'm
yeah. Okay. So make sure you kids at home you cook your food properly. Also, if you're cooking a chicken breast, a tinge of pink is okay unless you like dry breast.
Also, try and pre-plan it before you get to that point of no return when you get home and it is the 6 p.m. rush. Like, just think about little things throughout the day, some sort of self-development program where you have an action plan to go into, and it's a lot less effort for you. I think that will help quite a bit. I don't know if you agree on
Yeah, but like when your boss is on riding your ass, you're not thinking about like, what
If
veggies should I pick
that. If you can,
up?
let's try and highlight that. But if you can and you have the time, pre-think about it, pre-plan as
uh,
much as you can, and it'll just make your life a lot easier at that time.
yeah, but also these delivery services are getting ridiculous.
Well, it's the price of convenience, my bro. Like
Yeah,
if you're gonna sacrifice that element of the effort, there's gonna be a price to pay for it. Which is why I'm trying to hint at little things that could save you that extra 30 Rand a day for the price of convenience at going onto one of these fast food, home delivery, self service cooking services.
yeah, true, but I guess it boils down to it's an opportunity cost of do I have something that is more productive to do in the time than to actually cook a meal to feed myself? If I do not, then cook that meal. But if yes, there is, then I guess it's paying the price of convenience. But even then, you're still waiting like how long?
I feel like you have a point there, but most of these companies, their whole marketing strategy is to look for that convenience element. I
That's
mean,
true.
all that's pretty much all they're supplementing.
Yeah.
They still cook the food. They still go through the effort of planning all the dishes and ingredients and prep of it. All they're doing is saying, "Hey, you don't want to do this. We already have. Pay us, and we'll do it for you." In my mindset, anyway.
No, fave. Sure, that from actually going to the physical place, restaurant that you order from, to what you're paying on the app, the price is ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
I mean, that is a very fair point. I don't know of many people that do go from a 9 to 5 now and then still want to go home, get ready, and then get that sort of convenience and a outsourced establishment. It
I,
does happen, and I know that there are cases of it, but I just think the general mindset is let me chill at home rather, look after myself and just keep to my space, and I can do whatever the fuck I want. I don't have to do my hair, do my makeup, get dressed all Lani and fancy, and then still make a mission and get an Uber or drive and use my petrol to go out. Like there's a lot more cognitive decision making to excursion for that convenience element than there is for just having the convenience element delivered to your household, right?
yeah. But in terms of like the whole delivery, pre-packaged meals and whatnot, one or ready to go meals, that I think one person or one company that they hit the ground running and they do it well is Woolworths. When you think of
That is a very good point too.
ready to eat meals, everyone associates Woolworths with it. Yes, Checkers does it. Yes, Pick and Pay does it.
Who
Yes,
too?
Bar does it. Yes, they do. They do pre-packaged meals.
Oh, but from a more commercial base, they don't have their own in-house like labeled ones the way that Woolworths does, right?
No, they do. Pick and Pay does their own in-house lasagnas. I think they do oxtails. They do lamb shanks. I've
Oh
had.
shit! Okay.
I know Checkers also does it. They do a big drive with all these big name chefs at times. Spa.
I do know of a chef from back home in PE that did a collaboration with Spa, but her collaboration was more for lunch meals like ready to go nachos or a sandwich that someone's picking up on their lunch break instead of going home to sit down and enjoy. It's just a quick something tasty, something healthy, something that you can eat quick and easy. You know.
No.
But I had no idea about the pick and pay and checkers ones. I've seen Dr. Utker, those prepackaged like frozen meals.
Yeah, but that's a like Dr. Utker is like a German brand.
But that's what I'm saying. More commercial availability
I
rather than
think. I think.
the
Don't quote me on that fact. I'm just. I've read the packaging and once a couple of times, and I think it just like says Germany or the brand is German.
I think you're right. I think it is true.
Yeah. So it like for me like the most common ones is Woolies. Woolies I think have gone to the extent where it must be a very lucrative piece of their business model in the food sector where they've actually cornered the market. They also collab with chefs to create new products for them.
Uh, do you think it's collaboration more in terms of product development, or they're trying to make healthier lines and SKUs and more adventurous dishes that people don't really cook at home?
I think what they do is they make the whole experience of like I know they have a Thai green curry. They
Okay.
like a heat and eat Thai green curry dish that you can pick up at a Woolies food. So they've got their whole global cuisine kind of market, and then they do like their more local market as well.
Are you talking about Boiki? The Woolworths
What
Boiki there?
the bobochi and what's it the fed cook amagwinya.
I haven't seen the Amagrino or the Fat Cook. Do they do a chicken a la king? Is that locally?
Yeah, they do.
Traditional?
They do the chicken a la king.
I
I
mean,
think
that is a fucking South African staple
think-
in any household, right?
chicken a la king. Yeah.
Is it a French dish though? Is it?
So,
correct me if
yeah.
I'm wrong, just
So yeah, I think Woolies have kind of dominated that market and they do it well, and it's usually association by that, like they are known for it.
Is there any sort of structured mentalities and rules that they stick to that people at home could utilize as well?
In terms of what?
In terms of prep time, don't prep for an hour, otherwise it's going to be overcomplicated. Don't use 20 million ingredients. Don't overexert yourself in the plating element of it and how difficult it will be to actually get it on the plate and bowl, right? Like, you're not going to go for a 3 Michelin star meal where people are blowing up their own fucking helium balloons at home to eat, right? That's exactly.
So for me, generally, it's if I'm gonna cook for myself, which I seldomly do, like once every lunar cycle.
You gotta love yourself as much as other people
But
for yourself too.
I generally just stick to the basic principle of protein, carb, and veg, or if no carb, just veg and protein, or veg sometimes if I'm feeling adventurous. I generally will cook for myself when I want to test a concept. So it's more research than actual.
And then it boils down to being work again. But it's a fun element and play on words, right? Because it's not as serious and it's something that you're trying and getting creative with. And
Yes,
Yeah.
it's when I do long cooks, and a long cook generally is like me spending a whole day. But that's me spending a whole day knowing that I probably don't have to cook anything else, even at work, or I'm not gonna be cooking at work or anything for the next 3 days at least.
And I'm
then
guessing you don't have many chores to tackle and accomplish on that day as well, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't have that freedom and accessibility to do the long cook.
the long cook is always planned. You can't do a long cook without planning because you will get interrupted. So I generally designate and I let anyone who might disturb me on that day that I can't leave where I'm at for this amount of time.
6-8 hours, otherwise
Yeah.
my house might burn down or.
No, what I'm doing is important. That's how I phrase it because it is important. I've dedicated time to this act and I'm gonna assign the allotted time. If I finish before the allotted time, cool.
I'll let you know maybe.
But and that's what I've kind of designated myself to.
Okay, so your mentality and approach to the long cook is a little bit different than the 6 p.m. rush.
No.
Everybody has to deal with.
No, okay, 6 p.m. rush. This is literally how I would solve it. Cool. Get yourself a blender. Get onions, garlic, and thyme. De-stem your thyme. Peel your garlic, peel your onion, put everything into a blender, blend it.
I feel like I should be writing this down somewhere.
That will be your base for everything you cook.
Okay.
Add, depending on the quantities, for about 1 large onion to about 1 bulb of garlic to about 1 package of, which is usually 20 grams of thyme, I'd put about a tablespoon of salt. Blend that in. Now you can literally use that to cook anything. And you've got a foundational base that will add depth. Now that can sit in your fridge for a week. So every time you cook, you just put 2 spoons down. You've got something that's already going. And you can just build from there.
From that foundation.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's that simple. You can pre-cook certain like.
So you got that
grains.
that base that you just mentioned now. Your protein, your carb, your veg. I mean, less than 5 ingredients. It sounds quite easy, right? And you got to break it down to those little elements where you're making it simpler for yourself.
Yeah, like Jamie Oliver, what's it, the 15-minute dinners.
Last time I watched him, he was still the naked chef, dude. So I don't know much about Jamie Oliver.
No, but like literally, that was way back when, of 15 minutes in the kitchen and you've got a meal. But this 15 minutes is cool. If 15 minutes is if everything's prepped.
Exactly. Ready.
But in reality, it's not. It's more like 45.
Sitting in your fridge, it's still packaged. There's nothing. No sort of pre-game to it at all.
So another hack is to buy your pre-cut vegetables, which I'm sure a lot of people do. That's why there's massive aisles of that. Your tomato flavored stuff from if you're making pastas, hack. It works. It's convenient.
So many different brands and varieties of seasonings as well.
True. But also don't put in everything into one pot. Layer your stuff, and always key to balancing your flavors is acid and salt. So a little bit of lemon juice or vinegar and a bit of salt goes a long way. It goes a lot further than adding 15 different spices. I can definitely tell you. I can definitely tell you that.
I will keep that in mind.
It is, yeah, no. Honestly, less is more.
But I mean, does that not just boil down to the principle of you can always add more, but you can't take away? Like
yes.
If you add if you put in a ridiculous example, right? 100 grams of salt into a dish.
Yeah.
You can't take that out. But if you add 10 gram, 10 gram, 10 gram, you can stop at 40
Yes.
when it's enough seasoning and
Yes.
salt for the dish.
Yes. That is correct. Potato. Also, YouTube hacks, YouTube cooking hacks, because you'll find ways that people would have made a video on how to do something a little faster or a little easier. I do it for certain things. If I'm like, oh, cool, that's a cool hack. Oh, that's a cool concept of a hack, but it's not really practical for the space I need, but I can re-engineer it.
But that's where your experience and
Yeah.
understanding comes in of the principles and the foundations of cooking. You
True.
know how to tweak and manipulate whatever you find and research to
Yeah.
benefit yourself at the end of the day.
That's true. But also, like, yeah, are people drinking after work?
Most of the time, yes, but it's something that's very accessible, like a beer or a bottle of wine. It's not,
I love how you say a bottle of wine and not a glass.
well,
Alcoholic much?
how often do you leave a half bottle of wine that you're
Very,
not going to cook with later? Because not many people use that for cooking. It's something to drink and enjoy.
very long time. Well, not very long time, because then your wine oxidizes.
Exactly.
But like 2 days is acceptable.
Look, I'm not a big drinker. I'm just going based on the people that I've spoken to about this. It's generally, if you open a bottle, you finish a bottle. If you do leave one glass, it's one glass for the next day. 3/4 of a bottle of wine, and then another 3/4 of a bottle of wine, and another 3/4 of a bottle of wine, because then you're definitely an alcoholic.
True. Okay, beers.
Appropriate amount of beers after work, I would say anywhere from 3 to 6.
Alcoholic bunch.
Dumpies, bro. We're not talking 500 beers. I'm not drinking 3 liters of beer after work. It's just 3 little dumpies, 6 little dumpies if it's been a really big day. Easy, off to bed, bro.
No. Well, 2 to 3 is fine.
Okay, we can agree to disagree on that.
I promise you, 2 to 3. Because think about it. Like, drink, like every like literal dumpy takes a little bit of happiness from tomorrow.
Okay, it depends on how seasoned you are. How frequently the 3 to 6 beers are going down. Because again, if you're drinking 4 beers every single night after work, there might be some sort of problem you need to deal with and be like, nah, I can't keep doing this, bro.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can't believe.
Everything in moderation, my friend. If you're doing 6 beers once a week, you're cool. Because that is 1 beer a week, bro.
One beer a day, yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
1 beer a day in the week, bro.
But then isn't that like just binge drinking?
Kind of, but are there not people that have that same mentality towards food? Where you binge eat and then you intermittent fast and you don't eat for like 24 hours the next day because of the amount of calories you consumed the day before. Very much like these competitive eaters. I enjoy watching these competitive eaters. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Matteo, Beard Meat Food. You need to go check these guys out. It's fucking crazy.
How are you so excited about eating contest?
Crazy, dude. I don't know how they do it. I think that's the element that fascinates me so much is the how. How the fuck do you consume that much food in one sitting and you're not completely overweight and it doesn't negatively impact your lifestyle?
You train.
Balance, but again, that I'm not saying that you're going to drink 6 beers a day every day. You can have 6 beers on a Friday, especially if you're not working on a Saturday. But sometimes you just gotta tough it up. That Saturday,
Are you speaking from experience?
It does happen once or twice in the past, yeah.
Don't you mean 12 or 13?
How many years have we been doing this for now? Maybe 12 or
13.
Maybe 12
Yeah,
13.
yeah. Everyone's done it in hospital. Yo, it's not something to be proud of.
I've gone out with friends in a corporate environment and seen him going into work when we wake up drunk still, dude. So don't worry, we're not going to out you on here, but we see you.
Yeah, we know who you are. We see you in our spaces. But yeah, I think eating is just a fascinating one, especially like the whole culture of after work, which I think is especially like because what we work in town and there's like a whole lot of office buildings and whatnot. And
Definitely.
also just like the traffic of getting out of town, peak hour, people would rather like, let me wait this out. I'd rather wait this out in a casual area.
Pop in somewhere quickly, make sure I get my sustenance and sustained for the evening, and then I can commute home, chill, relax, have nothing else to worry about. It makes a lot more sense to me than going through that whole traffic trauma and then having to think about what to order if you're not even thinking about what to make.
Yeah, because I think about like I've done the drive from like here to like I'm obviously Claremont from like town. It's like on average it should take you about 15 to 20 with traffic with minimal traffic and whatnot, super quick. Peak traffic hour, not peak traffic time. It takes you anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half to get the distance of 10 kilometers.
That is insane to me, dude. Back in my hometown, it would peak hour traffic. To get from one end of PE to the other end, you're looking at a 20-minute max drive, dude. Literally opposite corners of the city as well.
No. No. Like, yeah, it's like 10 Ks and it's like.
Cape Town wild like that, dude, I know. I have seen it once or twice. I mean.
So, like, like I'd rather just spend in town, like spend that extra 2 hours in town and leave the city at like 7 or
when
8.
Everything's more calm.
And everything's out.
The decompression's already settled in. Your drive down. You're pumping tunes. It's a lack mission and not one that's fucking draining.
Yeah, no, because you don't want to be sitting and you're frustrated. And you're trying to relax, but you're like, I just want to get home. But like now you're.
Then there's some asshole that comes in from the left and a taxi coming
Oh.
down the yellow lane on the right hand side. Confused my left and right there, but
What else do you get confused about?
nothing. It's just even that shit doesn't help me. Dude.
Wow.
I know that's an owl. It just doesn't register. I don't know why.
Okay, you digress now. So like yeah, what are some places that like you've kind of like done after work and grabbed like a little chow and maybe a drink?
Yo, that's a tricky question for me. I usually end work at like 10, 11 o'clock, my bro. I'll talk about the off days because I think that will be a little bit more easier to manage. There's a really lovely Chinese place in Sea Point called Heshing.
Oh yeah, I know. I've been there. Oh,
Bro,
bangers.
I think it was my second week in Cape Town. The guys at work before I started working there took me for a mission. Incredible food, great cuisine, great experience. I definitely think.
No, but like okay, after
I don't go out to eat often, bro.
I don't either, but like I'm thinking about like your. I guess yeah, where we're located, it's kind of like the hub. But like there are so many like nice little eatery
I enjoy the
places.
food at House Machines. I love the burgers at Burgers and Brew. I would love to try the food at Gypsy Rabbit sometime.
Yeah.
Uh, there's this really nice Korean place that's just opened up down the road from us as well.
Okay.
I can't think of the name yet, but
Okay.
apparently it's very authentic, and I am a sucker for Japanese and Asian and Chinese like culture food items.
You said Korean and then you just jumped to Japanese.
No, it's Asian as a whole. Like, I enjoy a good ramen. I love dumplings and that authentic Chinese like chow mein and egg fried rice. I know that it's Korean and a completely different ethnicity, but I was saying Asian food as a whole.
What about South African food?
You can't go wrong. You really can't go wrong with a good braai, dude. But how many places offer an authentic South African braai at a restaurant level experience?
I love how you went to Bry.
What else?
There's so many things you could have a buboti.
I'm tired of avoiding my brain. I'm tired of Baboti and fucking boerewors rolls and
You could go for some snook.
yo.
You can't go yo, bruh.
No, I haven't had snook in years, my bro. The last time I had snook, I came down here for a hockey tournament against Weinberg, and my hosting family made us a snook braai.
Oh, okay.
And that's
nice.
that's also kind of why I went straight to braai. It's a lot more accessible for all sorts of different South African cultures. Everyone thinks it's just meat and boerewors rolls with chops and steak, bro. But there's the noodle salad, potato salad, the different salad elements that go involved. There's breads that can be made. There's different side dishes that can be done, like skull pikies that nobody fucking knows about. Yes, it's another meat element, but also, bro, it's just something different to your traditional barbecues that you'd see in Europe and overseas, right?
Of course. Like,
And I think that's what makes it culturally authentic to South Africa.
have you ever had a smiley?
What is a smiley? Are we talking about the lighter thing where you burn this
No. It's a sheep's head.
sheep's head?
Yeah.
No, but I would try it.
Okay.
Are you gonna buy us smileys next week?
No. Why would I do that?
It just sounded like there was an offer coming there. That's all.
No.
Okay.
I do cow's head. Oddly enough.
When? Next time you do?
Beef cheeks are delicious.
Tongue.
Cheek.
I know. I've never had cheek, but I've tried tongue before. Incredible, bro.
Of course.
I would not have known. I didn't think so at the time. I was kind of scared about it, but
You braise it nicely and it's delicious.
see.
Yeah.
But then we're going back to that argument of trying new things and actually pushing your own self boundaries and trying different weird and wonderful food items.
I don't know. I think just because growing up like Zulu, even as in the most like modern white suburb, I still got to experience and be involved with like cultural things, especially like the food elements. So like from eating trotters to like tripe intestines to like liver, the lungs to like kidneys.
That sounds insane. Did you find that it built up a little bit of, not maybe resistance, tolerance to trying new things and not being as afraid of the unknown that a general person would have?
I think I'm more open to trying a lot of different like foods because if I've never tasted it before. My dad always says like, how do you know you don't like something if you don't try it? So for me, it's like, how do I know I don't like it if I don't try it?
My topi used to say something very similar. Don't knock it. Don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah.
And I think that's been ingrained in. We're about the same age, and people I know of our generation quite well, dude. Like,
Yeah, we might
don't
not.
pass judgment unless you've been there. Don't throw shade unless you've actually tried it and been through the process yourself. Right?
Yeah. I know we might not look the same age, but yes.
What do you mean?
Never mind.
What do you mean?
Yes. But that's not about it.
I'll take it. It's fine. Black don't crack, dude.
You need to eat your vegetables. No, be serious. Like my grand lived to the age of 92, and
that is a very good age, dude.
yeah, and it like touches a lot about like her food philosophy is like she needed to know where her food came from. So kind of growing up
Quality assurance.
she grew most of the produce that we ate.
Is she kind of where you got your love for the understanding of growing things as well? Maybe not just food in general, but I know that you've got a very big passion channel for growing things and the understanding of how plants and mushrooms and maybe some proteins develop throughout their life cycle.
Yeah, I think she has been a big influence in kind of my food journey. And I don't say cooking, I say food journey as in I'm still on this journey, cooking being one of the aspects. Growing at stage not long ago was like my main focus and the aspect of what I was doing, part of my food journey. So for me, I know it's trying to understand what I do better. So I know I work with this product, but where does this product come from?
You building more of a foundation for yourself to go on and expand.
Yeah, to progress. So I know more about how to do less, basically.
That's pre-planning. Very similar to the fact.
Yeah, that is true. But yeah, food it becomes funny. Every chef has a different food journey, a different food story. I prefer to tell myself I'm a food enthusiast. Who is talented at cooking, I guess.
I've had a couple of yourself myself at work. It is definitely talent.
Yeah, but you have to work at your talent, or else you become irrelevant or you fade away.
See, this is what I mean. Self-development. You gotta grow as a fucking human being as well sometimes to get over certain obstacles, like not being decisive about what to eat when you get home and staring at a fridge that's full and not knowing how everything connects, right? Because I'm pretty sure if we have to go to your fridge now, I could stand there for 20 minutes and I would not know how anything works together and what to do. Give you 2 minutes and you'll have a game plan set up. No problem.
No, well, because I've stocked my own fridge, so so if I wanted, so the point doesn't really make sense, because if I came to your place, I would probably spend a bit of time and be like, okay, yes, I do understand the mechanics of things better in terms of food than you, yes, I will take that. But it still would take me a bit of time to figure out. Because I would lock into a certain concept, then I'd find, do you have this? If not, then I'd need to make substitutes to find out, do you have those substitutes that I could use?
That you can plug and play.
Yeah.
And tweak.
So yes, it would still take me pretty much a lot of time because now I'm just re-engineering a certain concept to make it work.
Also, your final product's going to be way more elegant and put together than my one is going to be slapped together.
But sometimes the slapping together is actually better than
it
pre-planned.
does work out. I'll give you an example now off of my brain and perspective. It's like watching Iron Chef and watching Master Chef. You've got this semi-amateur home cook that can cook very well, and then you've got this professional chef that is competing against other professional chefs.
Yes.
And the level of input is pretty much similar in terms of effort and time and process, but the level of output that's coming out is drastically different.
Yeah, no, that is definitely true. But not everyone needs to be a chef. Just be a good cook, and you don't have to be like, it needs to be like this. Just even like a chef, we cook from nostalgia. There's certain flavors, there's certain things, textures that trigger certain nostalgia of a fond memory of something either your mother or grandmother used to make, or your aunt or someone that you kind of like relate to, and you always go. So certain chefs, you'll see like it'll play out.
Is it a thing of wanting to share that nostalgia and experience with somebody else, or is it's just easy and accessible in the brain and the cognition element of your mind?
It's both.
Outputs.
It's both. It's to share that experience, but also like it's a lot easier to draw from that.
That's so dope.
To draw from that and re-engineer, then to start from zero with something you completely
recreate.
Yeah.
So in essence, all I'm getting from this, right, is keep it simple when I get home. Use 5 or less ingredients. Don't overcomplicate. Try and plan as much as I can beforehand, and just go with what feels familiar.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to recreate the whole reinvent.
The wheel. You don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Okay.
It's literally just like what one chef used to say, kiss. Actually, not my chef, my rugby coach, my grade 3 rugby coach is like, literally all you need to do is kiss. And we were like, what? And it's like, it's an acronym. Keep it simple, stupid.
Okay.
And it's a 4-letter word. 4-letter word.
Easy to remember.
Four
keep
ingredients.
it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Keep it to 4 ingredients. That's also another thing that will make your life a lot easier.
Dope. Well,
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to try and put this into practice at home. At 2 in the morning when I'm doing that too.
No. Yeah, no, I just hit air fryer. Air fryer and chicken strips. That's me.
That we will chat more about these recipes and work on these.
Alright. Till next time.
Peace out, guys.
Yeah. Cheers.